YouTube! What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? In today's video, I want to go over an MMO that has received a lot of attention in the gaming community.
Ashes of creation.
Now, there's been plenty of information circulating about the game itself, with glimpses of actual in-game footage from an alpha test held about a year ago. I understand that when a game is in development, the hype can die down quite a bit, especially during certain stages of the process. Doubt will begin to cast while you struggle to find that little bit of faith you have left within yourself, trying to remain calm and trying to be as positive as you possibly can be. As you all very well know, Intrepid Studios has been working very hard, making great strides in terms of progress, and they don't seem to be slowing down. Or are they? But then that begs the question, how much longer do we have to wait to play the finished product? Now, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there like myself who have been waiting ever so patiently for the game to be released. Trust me when I say I'm a very patient person in life, and holding out on Ashes of Creations for this long has definitely been testing my limits. Back in 2016, an official website was launched and the project was announced. Then, in 2017, an official Kickstarter was held, which managed to accumulate over $3 million. Now that's a lot of money for sure, but in the beginning it was believed that it would cost around $30 million just to fund the project. So, most money when developing a game goes to paying your salaries and the benefits of your employees. You got the cost of renting out an office or a building, you have utilities, food, etc., etc. With that being said, there are around 100 employees currently within Intrepid Studios, and whatever role that they're managing. And you got 100. I think they started out with around 50-ish employees, but now I believe they're around 100. So you take that average-ish salary of around $50,000 per employee just for a designer per year, multiply that by around 100 employees. Remember, this is just an average. I'm not accounting for any higher level senior executive roles, okay? If you multiply the two, you would come up with an amount of around $5 million per year. That's per year. 1 year alone eats up over what the Kickstarter even raised. Even if you half that number of employees and salary, it's still pretty much on the cusp of that $3 million. So if you do the math, you're already looking at around $30 million spent on salaries alone. And like I just said, even if you half that amount, it comes out to around $15 million. If we were to say that they've gone through $15 million, does that mean they're only halfway through completing the game? Because it's been about 6 years now that we can assume Intrepid has been working on developing Ashes of Creation, and to put things into perspective, using a team similar in size, it took around 5 years to create and finish one of the biggest MMOs in history, that is the World of Warcraft. Now granted, WoW wasn't built using Unreal 5, I'm not even sure if the budget set or if Blizzard allowed an unlimited amount of funding. Was there an abundant amount of resources granted and or timeline followed? I don't know. What I can tell you is that there are numerous advancements today in how to develop games for the masses, and that there are countless blueprints at your disposal just to come up with something even half as decent, all depending on how creative your imagination can flourish with such tools. So what have they been doing recently? Well, Intrepid just released a video showcasing the Alpha 2 tank class, which looks pretty cool, but kind of meh at the same time. I don't know if it's the way the class was played during the recording, but to me, I couldn't help but notice at how lacking the tank was holding on to the aggro. There was no dynamic scene in my mind that shouted out to me like, hey, this is the tank class. Now to be fair, I don't know, they were just showing the class and what they've been working on, and I would assume that this year they'll be unveiling more class progressions. Hopefully it's just there, and I'm sure that they'll have it all under control in terms of abilities and standards for every class. If we go back in time, we know that there was an Alpha 1 test during the month of July in 2021, which lasted till August of that same year. If you were lucky enough to participate in that test, Congratulations, consider me jealous as fuck. Since then, Intrepid Studios has been releasing videos about once or twice a month, giving us an inside look at what's been going on. We can only hope that in 2023, that they'll release some new information, possibly giving us some kind of gauge as to when the actual game's going to be released. However, I have my doubts. Call me crazy, but I think we might have better luck finding Santa Claus in the North Pole. In my honest opinion, I feel that Intrepid Studios have been very transparent with updates across all of their social media platforms. They've played it smart and have made no promises, so it's hard to hold them accountable for anything they have or haven't done so far. It should be made clear that while I do hope they release the game in the near future, the question that still remains is how complete of a game will they deliver if that's the case? It puts everybody in a conundrum. Release the game unfinished, earlier than expected, and the player base might not be happy about the final product. Keep prolonging the development and the community will continually grow impatient or lose interest and move on to other games that are being released. There are many games that I haven't even personally tried to this date because I was either playing WoW, Diablo 2, Path of Exile. I've never even played Final Fantasy XIV. Never played any of the Guild Wars, among countless others, just because I was too invested in the game I was currently playing at the time. I hope I'm wrong in my thoughts of this game never being released or released in a timely manner, but it's been well over 5 years now, and with the current drought in MMOs today, I'm sure any game coming out in the near future will be a home run for most, just due to the lack of competition and new discoverability. That is, of course, if the game isn't named New World. And with that being said, I want to thank you very much for making it this far into the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more gaming content. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this video. Do you agree with my sentiments, or do you have other thoughts on Ashes of Creation and its current status? Till next time, I'm out.